If we ever get this particular aspect together, I think it makes us powerful. We're only talking about hip hop here, and hip hop as an energy, and why perhaps J. Edgar Hoover and them failed at their attempt to stop us is because they were stopping individuals. So Black Dot is here to re-examine that and talk about hip hop as an energy as opposed to individuals. Now, there will be individuals within hip hop, some are more powerful than others. Some have the oracle skills. Some have a magnetic pull to do certain things. Some have political base, but that's all within the, the grand scheme of things. The economic base for who we are is more critical than we would like to imagine, and it's simply because what's going on, with our inability to use our money to raise our people up is a part of the warfare being staged against us here in America. Till this day, most people ain't even got $1,000 in their account. And that's a shame, but we are growing in some aspects. So let's keep our eye on the economics and then, of course, the political aspect of this. I believe Obama, in particular, the first black president, all depending on who you ask, some say John Hanson, years before that, in this country, galvanized people. I'm not going to get into his politics. We're talking about energy. So if we're talking about energy, I'm talking about from a spiritual standpoint. He has galvanized people. He did make a lot more of our rappers and our hip hop nation aware of the political powers that were going to be needed for us to play in this arena. Hip hop is a culture now, and these are the components that make it a culture. It is not a culture in the traditional sense of the word, but it is a culture in the new age essence of you got to have raw materials, you got to have a history, you have to have an economic base, and you have to understand politics runs this. You know what I'm saying? How do we get bills passed? How do we approach our congressmen as a movement, a unified movement that say, listen, we want this done for our people. You know what I'm saying? So the politic aspect of it is very, very critical. I'll just put Obama here. And then you got to put, today we're talking Trump. A contrast in a lot of people's minds. But again, we reached a height here, and now we're in, as some say, a turmoil point, but that's the way politics works. So that's the way you have to go out. If you believe in voting, you go out and you vote. You know what I mean? If you don't, then you still pay attention to the temperament of the people and how it's moving. I'm laying out the principles that I think are important when we talk about hip hop being the messiah of the black people. Hip hop was here, or in its rawest form, to get us out of the current situation we was in, because it's a worldwide movement now. It's a universal language, and it provides, again, raw material, which is us, a history base that goes far beyond what most is willing to accept and deal with, a potential for an economic base so that we can have money, and a political base so that we can understand what really runs this country. I'll say social, all right? Not just social media, but social in general. Our ability to travel many places and talk and deal with many people. I can go anywhere in the world if I speak the universal language of hip hop. Now, the variations of hip hop are different based on the environment that breeds hip hop. I've been born in the Bronx, so that's the rawest form of it. But if you go to the Dirty South, they too have their pioneers, and they too have their interpretation of what hip hop is, which is to provide all of these things so that we may survive. All right, so I'm laying down the foundation. Then we'll talk about those who are taking full advantage to stop the rise of a black messiah. For those who have caught on to the fact that perhaps it is not an individual, because in 84, 85, 86, 87, and specifically 88, we saw an emergence of artists who are about black power. We saw Public Enemy, we saw KRS-One, we saw the X-Clan, we saw the Brand Nubians, Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers, Lakim Shabazz, the Native Tongues with De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Rakim. We saw the emergence, Big Daddy Kane. We saw the emergence. I also dropped my album in that year, and it was red, black, and green cover. We were all on it. We were all on a specific frequency now that the doors was open by the generations before to seize the opportunity to galvanize individuals on a whole nother level. And then we had NWA and we had other groups who took a more, just a different approach, which made sex, murder, and money the order of the day. So that was the first counter step. You can challenge me on this if you want. When NWA and them showed up, beyond the point that they did Express Yourself and Fuck the Police, when they really settled in, all of that political aspect went out of the window, and it became about gang banging, it became about drugs, it became about murder. But this plays right into the hands of those who are looking to distract us off a more spiritual path, a more a paradigm shifting effort to what we were trying to do, which was use what is natural to us, right? Go back to that raw material. This is natural. Our ability to sing, dance, speak. This is what we do naturally. That's where our spiritual powers lie. Now, they can manifest in all these other components. You know what I mean? But those years in particular, I believe that corporations, because there's levels to this too. There's those who are looking to make money and those who are looking to thwart energy and move and redirect energy, right? So on the corporate level, there are those who just saw an opportunity. We got to make some money off this. This is the next phenomenon. And then there were those who understand occult principles and things of that nature and understand, whoa, there's something even greater going on than just that. Because how did they even make this music? You know, what was the environment that helped create this movement? And it was all done through raw materials of us just saying enough is enough, and us realigning our DNA through some cosmic events, perhaps, during 1973 and those times that brought all of this together and gave us a platform to stand on that is still here till this day, and that is called hip hop. All right, so the social aspect, I'll just put media here.